woman named Yi-jin was caught cheating on her by her fiancé. Before Yi-jin caught his act, he had previously observed him through a security camera. He often gave his loved ones the coat on yellow paper. Yi-jin is a 36-year-old woman and a successful entrepreneur who runs a large company. She is known to be a strict and perfectionist in everything she does. Since that incident, Yi-jin has developed a dislike for yellow things, and upon learning of Yi-jin's dislike of color, all office employees are forced to discard all yellow items. Next, let me introduce a man named Xiao Bo. He works as a delivery man. Before working as a delivery man, Bo was a skydiving instructor. He worked hard to earn money for his nephew's ear surgery. Bo delivers packages every day on his antique motorcycle, which he modified to support his work. Let's go back to Jin, who still can't get over his fiancée. Due to her fiancé's attitude, she decides to break up with him even though she is getting married soon. After some time, Yi-jin receives a video call from his best friend Sophie. Her Sophie lives in Paris with her children and her husband. Yi-jin tells Sophie what she thinks. She also talks about the problems she is going through in her engagement that has to end. Sophie encourages Jin by saying that she will definitely meet a good man someday. But she's decided she won't date a man. Her trust in her man is gone, that's right. Yi-jin decided that she would not get married, but she wanted to have children. From their point of view, the relationship between mother and child is a permanent relationship. The next day, Yi-jin informs her assistant of her desire to have a child through IVF, not through marriage or sexual relations. Jin then asks her assistant to find a man who can donate her sperm. Of course, the man must meet the conditions she wants. Jin also insists that her assistant keep her plan secret. To carry out her plan, Yi-jin's assistant puts out a job offer for a male assistant, which is actually just a cover-up. Men came to interview one after another, but unfortunately none met Jin's requirements. After all, Yi-jin decided to call off his search. Around the same time, Bo, who came to deliver a package to Yi-jin's company, happened to see a job advertisement for a male assistant on a bulletin board. Bo decided to apply for the position, thinking that he could get a high salary if he became an assistant at Yi-jin's company. Apart from that, Bo also needs money for his nephew's surgery. Shortly after, we met with an employee who had just been fired for falsifying the company's financial records. She looks very upset and angry, especially when what she was carrying fell. While packing up, she sees Yi-jin and his assistant. Angry at her dismissal, the woman desperately stabs Jin with a knife. Luckily, Bo is right there and saves Yi-jin from the woman's insane stunt. After unsuccessful attempts, Mr. Yi-jin finally said that if he quit his job, he would lose custody of his children. To her confession, Yi-jin feels sorry for her and eventually forgives her. Yi-jin then says that he will give compensation until he finds a new job. Thanks to her kindness in her Yi-jin, the woman admitted her own mistakes and thanked her too. Once the matter is resolved, Yi-jin, who seems interested in Bo, offers her an interview. Her various tests show that Bo perfectly meets Jin's criteria. Bo is accepted as Jin's assistant and she soon wins her job contract. Bo signed the employment contract without reading it. Bo still don't really know what to do, because the most important thing for him at the moment is money. Yi-jin's assistant then explained to Bo that he would act as Yi-jin's assistant on her behalf. The next day, Bo has to start his work and pick up Jin from home in the morning. Bo makes a mistake on his first day at work and is late. Angered by Bo's tardiness, Yi-jin tells Bo to get used to the rhythm of his daily life as soon as possible or he will not hesitate to fire him. Bo's first day at work was a mess and none of his work went well. On the second day, Yi-jin asks Bo not to make any more mistakes, especially since he is meeting with a very important customer today. Unfortunately, I got stuck in a terrible traffic jam on my way to my client's appointment. Bo then started looking for another road, confident that although the distance would be longer, he would be able to bypass the traffic and bring Yi-jin to the meeting time of. After detouring on Bo's speculation and taking another road, he gets stuck in traffic again. As a result, Yi-jin was late for the meeting. Yi-jin scolds Bo harshly and nearly fires him for his mistake. Bo then asks Yi-jin to get out of his car. Apparently Bo asked one of his friends for help. Bo ends up driving Yi-jin to the meeting place on a motorcycle brought by his friend. and Yi-jin reluctantly finally agrees to ride the motorcycle with Bo. Yi-jin, who arrived in front of his office, met an important customer who had just arrived at the same time. Customers greet Yi-jin with respect and show their admiration for him. He said he respects her Yi-jin because she is not afraid to ride her motorcycle to the office as head of her big company. Customer also expressed her interest in the motorcycle Yi-jin rode because she liked old antiques. Thanks to his praise, the customer agreed to cooperate with Yi-jin and signed her contract. Her Jin looks so happy that her eyes are only on Bo. A few days later, Bo was taken to the hospital to have her semen removed. Bo thought it was just a physical examination. As Mr. Bo watches a video provided by the hospital, he begins to do whatever it takes to extract the sperm. Unfortunately, Bo can't donate sperm because the video he's watching stops midway through the process. Later, Yi-jin's assistant and Yi-jin met to discuss Bo's failure. The assistant says that Bo's employment contract has expired because Yi-jin was unable to provide the sperm he needed. The assistant eventually tells Bo that Yi-jin didn't actually need a new assistant and was hired because of his sperm. The sperm is then donated to Yi-jin for artificial insemination. This happened because Jin wanted a child without having a relationship with a man. Bo is clearly offended by Yi-jin's words and decides to leave, but his steps are halted when Yi-jin offers to become a personal assistant for a much higher salary. In the end, Bo returns to his job and agrees to provide sperm to Yi-jin. Jin's assistant teaches Bo how to take care of his health, what to eat each day, and what underwear to wear to produce quality semen. The assistant called Ms. Bo Miss Wei and gave Mr. Bo a form to fill out. The form requires all personal information including Bo's sexual activity. One evening, Bo is enjoying dinner on the street and deliberately orders a beer, even though her employment contract stipulates that she no longer drinks alcoholic beverages. Unexpectedly, she came to Yi-jin and found out what she had done. Seeing Yi-jin arrive, Bo apologizes to her and realizes he made a mistake. Instead of getting mad at him, Yi-jin also orders her beer, which makes Bo feel even more guilty of violating the terms of his employment contract. Soon after, Yi-jin's assistants arrive with medical staff, forcing Bo to go with them to the hospital to remove all alcohol and toxins from his body. The next night, Yi calls Jinbo and asks her to come home immediately. Arriving at her Jin's house, Bo is shocked that Yi-jin asks her to go to the room on the second floor. In his heart, he thinks Yi-jin is asking him to have sex. Bo undressed him and got ready. However, it turned out that his idea was not Jin's intention. Yi-jin called him and asked to change the light bulb in the room. In the end, he has to endure the embarrassment of his actions. The next day, Bo went to pick up Yi-jin, but at that time, Yi-jin's ex-fiancé came with a bouquet. The man came to ask Jin to come back. Yi-jin noticed that Bo was overhearing a conversation with her ex-fiancé, and Yi-jin invites him to his house. Yi-jin then tells his ex-fiancé that he doesn't love him anymore and that he will never be the same again. However, the man could not stand Yi-jin's decision and kept begging Yi-jin to come back, leading to further altercations. Luckily Bo entered the house and chased the man away. Yi-jin then takes Bo to his father who lives in a nursing home. Yi-jin's father has Alzheimer's disease and suffers from memory loss due to the disease. Yi-jin asked her father's treating doctor for the best remedy for her recovery, and she is willing to pay for it. When Yi-jin prepares to go home, father approaches. He believes Yi-jin to be her wife and asks him to take her home. Yi-jin categorically refused his father's request and left his father. Outside, Bo criticized how Yi-jin treated his father, saying he shouldn't have treated him like that. Yi-jin then insists that he doesn't care what he did to his father and that Bo has no reason to interfere in his personal affairs. A day passes, another evening comes, and Yi-jin returns to his home after a long day of work, but Bo is not found there. Yi-jin tries to contact him but Bo's phone is off. In the end, Yi-jin decides to take a taxi and go home alone. When Yi-jin arrives home, he is surprised to find the house so messy and dirty. It turns out that Bo secretly brought his father back to Yi-jin's house without Yi-jin's permission. Yi-jin is very upset that Bo dared to interfere in her private life, and the two end up arguing. In the end, Bo decides to quit his job. A few days later, Ms. Bo received a message from Yijin asking her to pay a fine for unilaterally terminating her employment contract. Then Bo goes to office of Yijin immediately while being angry. Bo claims he cannot afford such a hefty fine. Yijin laughed at Bo's antics instead of getting angry. Yijin explains why his relationship with his father isn't working out. Her father had an affair in front of Jin's mother in the past. Since then, her mother and her father have been quarreling. One day, Yijin's mother couldn't stand her father's attitude and committed suicide. His mother's death did not make him aware of his mistake, but rather drove him madder and more frequently invited women into his home. After that, Jin decided to leave his father and live in Paris. Boye, who heard her Jin, apologized for her prejudice against Jin. The story continues at Jin's house. Jin wonders why Bo is so ambitious about making money. Bo then talks about the situation he is going through. He is deaf and needs a lot of money for surgery on his nephew who needs an ear implant. That night, they talked until they got drunk and drank a lot of wine. The next morning, Yijin wakes up and is shocked to discover that she has been sleeping with Bo all night. A few days later, Yi takes Jinbo to Paris for her scheduled IVF program. Arriving at Paris, they met Jin's best friend Sophie, who has lived in Paris for many years. He asks Bo to go home because Yijin needs some alone time with Sophie to discuss plans. Sophie, she seems to know that there is a hint of love between Yijin and Bo, and she opposes artificial insemination and advises Yijin to marry Bo instead. Yijin rejects his best friend's marriage proposal, insisting that his relationship with Bo is purely for work. The day of Jin's artificial insemination is approaching and Jin is ready to undergo whatever procedure is to come. Later that night, Bo approaches Jin, who seems to be thinking about something. Yijin then revealed that when his son asked about his father's absence, he was thinking about what to say later. Yijin uses his employment contract as an excuse to ask Bo for help. Bo then suggests different scenarios that Yijin could tell his son in the future. From Bo's death in a car accident, to being drunk and drowning in the bathroom, to the accident Bo experienced when guiding the car. Skydiving soldier. At the time, Bo had to rescue a soldier who lost consciousness after jumping out of the plane. During the rescue, Mr. Bo fell from a high place and disappeared. He says Bo is tired and wants to go to bed, leaving Jin alone, and after listening to Bo's scenario he remains silent. One day Sophie throws a party at her house. At her party, Sophie congratulated Yijin on her pregnancy and everyone was delighted with the good news. Bo then invites Yijin to a dance and they look happy. Bo hugs Jin and asks her to spend the rest of his life with her. Jin freezes at Bo's words and lets go of her hug. Later, Yijin watches from a distance that Bo is very kind to the children who happen to be at her party, and Sophie sees how her best friend is doing and encourages Yijin to accept her Bo's request. I ask she. Sophie tells Yijin to live with Bo because she believes Yijin has fallen in love with Bo. The same applies to Bo. After her party, Yijin ponders her thoughts in her room and wonders what she should do. Will she live with Bo or stick with her original decision not to marry? She then goes to Bo and she asks her to go home because her work is done. Bo is clearly disappointed with Jin's decision. The next day, Bo prepares to return to Hong Kong, but seems reluctant to part ways with Yijin and demands an explanation from Yijin for what he has done to him. Jin decides not to say anything and lets Bo go. The story then continues until the day Bo's nephew undergoes successful ear surgery. Bo's sister-in-law is very appreciative of Bo's kindness. Days go by, but Bo still thinks of Jin. Longing for Yijin and his future baby, Bo presents a book with a love story between him and Yijin. In the book, Bo apologizes to his son for not staying by his side and urges his son to take care of Yijin. Bo then ships his book to Paris. He goes back to Jin. Jin is still in Paris now, but he looks unhappy. When the courier delivers the package, she imagines Bo coming towards her. Jin finally came to her senses and realized that it was just her own illusion. After Yijin read the contents of her book, she found a ring inside. The next morning, Sophie and her husband panic when Jin disappears. Looking for Jin, Bo appears and he is back in Paris. Bo came to Paris because Sophie had previously contacted him about Jin's disappearance. Then Shopee, her husband and Bo departed. According to the information Sophie received, Jin could be there. On her way, Sophie tells Yijin what really happened. During her pregnancy, Jin lived alone, and she prepared for her birth by herself. One day, Jin had to bleed and lose her future baby. Jin grieved for her death and she suffered from depression until one day her courier came to deliver a gift from Bo. Jin disappeared from that day. They finally find Jin standing on the edge of a cliff. Bo rushes to Jin and tries to calm her down. She seems to be annoyed and wants to end her life. To calm her down, Bo tells a skydiving story he once told Jin. Bo tells her that this is a true event that happened to her late brother. Bo says that if Jin wants to die, they will die together. At the end of the story, Jin and Bo jump off a cliff together, but instead of committing suicide, they jump off using a parachute device that Bo has prepared in advance. Both flew through the air and Bo finally succeeded in melting Jin's heart. The two then fly over the beautiful city of Paris and land in front of the cathedral, where they kiss passionately. The audience cheers as if sharing the joy. The movie ends with a scene showing Jin and Bo's life with their children. Conclusion: in the midst of personal struggles and emotional upheavals, Jin's path leads her from heartbreak to unexpected connections. Bo, a steadfast figure in her life, defies convention and aids her through challenges, ultimately paving the way for healing, love, and the creation of a family, demonstrating that life's unexpected turns can lead to the most rewarding destinations. Thanks again from Movies Recapped. If you enjoyed this movie recap, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more captivating narratives and engaging content. Please also comment on your thoughts and so I know you subscribed and I will reply back to you.